Hello everyone, my name is David Rocha. I'm a Senior Partner Solutions Architect with Amazon Web Services. And today we're going to talk about software supply chain for container development. I'm joined by Ted.
Thanks, David. I'm Ted Jones, part of the Global Alliance team at SUSE. I'm an architect focused on the secure container platform domain.
So Ted, can you please explain what a software supply chain looks like?
Sure, David. The software supply chain is a system of code and process, including development, testing, deployment, and then running and development test in production environments. From a high level, the developer begins with a pull request or commit to their source control environment, which kicks off the continuous integration process, ensuring other code and applications are not broken due to the change. The resulting container image is then stored in a container image repository and then passed on to the continuous development pipeline to be deployed to the target environment.
And what are some of the risks that workflow introduces?
The workflow presents many touch points that are ripe for attacks, of course, starting with code, both proprietary and open source. Proprietary and open source software are vulnerable to malicious code or exploiting known bugs in code. An example could be bad actors that introduce similarly named packages containing malicious code, hijacking of updates, or the code signing process. Also, internal code bases. Internal code bases can sometimes include older open source libraries with known CVEs.
Is this where something like the log4j vulnerability might come into play? Because I do know initially log4j was introduced by bad actors.
Exactly, David. Even though the log4j CVE was discovered back in 2021, there's still many projects that use the affected version of log4j, and they can be inadvertently pulled into your applications.
So essentially all software risk, open source, proprietary, internal code bases, I guess are a risk. What other points in the software supply chain are vulnerable to attack?
Well, and I've already touched on this a little bit, but people and processes. People can impact the chain with intentional or unintentional vulnerability injection. An activity like a phishing attempt can be used to execute malicious code.
And I know customers also face the risk of misconfiguration. So environment misconfiguration. And that can include the application instances, storage or networking, and all of those can lead to exposed risk for cyber attacks. What are some ways customers can avoid these pitfalls so that they can have a secure pipeline?
Yeah, so security comes in layers. You've got registry and image scans, CI/CD scanning, admission control rules, network segmentation, platform and runtime system scanning, network threat detection, compliance scanning, processes and file security, data leak prevention, and web application firewalls. By implementing a layered approach, you greatly reduce an attacker's chances of penetrating your environment. Even if something doesn't get caught at one place, it will be blocked in the other.
So that's a pretty extensive and overwhelming list. Where can customers start?
Well, we can start by pulling our libraries from a trusted and secure source of truth. Application collections, or APCO for short, are a curated and trusted up-to-date collection of developer and infrastructure applications built, packaged, tested, and distributed by SUSE and included with Rancher Prime.
So before we move on, Rancher Prime is the SUSE-supported offering for Community Rancher. Does Rancher Prime application collections address the introduction of unsigned software into your software supply chain for container development?
Yes, it does. And it also assures that you're not pulling in known CVEs into your applications.
So earlier we identified environment misconfigurations. Does SUSE have a solution to address that problem?
Yes, we do. We have something called NeuVector, which is a best-of-breed security platform for containers, as well as Kubewarden, which is included with Rancher Prime. We can secure not only the development environment using these tools, but also the runtime environment to identify and block traffic outside of our whitelisted policies.
So I think this is a good stopping point, and that's definitely a topic for a new video. With that, we'll end the first video on software supply chain for container development and pick up where we left off with video number 2, starting with NeuVector and Kubewarden. So thank you, Ted, and thanks everyone for watching.